Just want to give a quick shout out sa ating mga statisticians, JP Digno, Poging Abalos Brothers, at 10X Smiley. Ayan. Happy viewing sa inyo, mga Upwards. Ken Panglinan, kasama ko po si Upwards Javi Palanya na nung nakaraan lang nagkaroon ng 15-point game ng kanyang game. And of course at courtside we have Miss Mika Abisamis and Javi. Namanggit ko yung 15 points kasi 15 points yung lamang ng Quezon, no, nung first half. Dinagdagan pa nila yan, and that third period outscoring Mindoro by 10, 22-12, and they have really blown this game wide open.
Yeah, they've had their best defensive performance of this game in that third quarter, which really enabled them to stretch their lead to this big. It's been quite nakahalata talaga natin dito, no, na mas mabilis yung Quezon in terms of getting to those loose balls. Those 50-50s have been falling in the way of the Huskers because they've been reacting quickly to the basketball compared to Mindoro, who are mostly just watching when that ball goes up. The trick is when that shot goes up, even before it bounces on the ring, you're already there keeping a low base and ready to react where it bounces on the floor.
Well, they have 9 minutes and 39 seconds to make up for it. Down by 25, but free throws continue to be a detriment to their cause. Now 10 out of 23. Missing 13 free throws.
That could have made their life much easier in this game. Instead, they're staring at the 25-point lead right now. Not impossible, but certainly quite difficult.
Gabalinda to Sedorifa. Rebound control by JP Sarao.
And also the fact that that three-point shot has not been falling for them as much as in the first half has also made it hard for Mindoro here in the second half, while Quezon, on the other hand, their three-point shooting has clicked here in the last two quarters.
9 out of 28 overall. Itong Quezon Huskers lead has ballooned to 28. Bienes misfires from deep. Lagrama. Entry pass intended to Sarao was broken up by Ray Bienes. Sedorifa with Bam Bam Gabalinda, Ino Comboy, Ray Bienes, and RJ Ramirez. Bienes popping out. Wala pa din.
Wow, just 7 out of 31 for Mindoro from beyond the arc in this game.
And now a 30-point bubble enjoyed by Quezon. And the Huskers, again, magic number is 22 wins for them to clinch that #1 spot in the South Division. Bienes again.
Oh, he has yet to hit a three-point shot this entire game. The shooting of Mindoro going to as low as 28% in this game.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Extreme magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Huskers have been clicking on all cylinders, inside, outside, you name it.
And that's the question. If you're the Mindoro Tamaraws, when your three-point shot is not clicking, how do you deal with that? Especially when they wind out either the play-in or the playoffs, where defenses would key in more on you and play within your tendencies. And yun nakikita natin, Javi. Basically, Quezon has really took out Mindoro out of this game.
For me, the simple explanation really is if you find yourselves being locked out of that option that really benefits you in a game, the thing you have to rely on should be your defense. Because again, I am still really leaning on the fact that if you play good defense, you get yourselves more opportunities, more attempts, and still also get easy baskets, and that helps you score the ball better with higher percentage looks, which enables you to have the confidence to now knock down the shots you usually take from the outside.
And the accuracy from beyond the arc from the Huskers. Lagrama nailing another three, has a total of 14 points. Gamalinda with 13. Lone guy in double figures right now for Mindoro.
And the problem with Mindoro in this game is they're letting their offense fuel their defense. I've said this time and time again, it should be the other way around. Defense should be the one fueling their offense, which is how Quezon has shaped their season. Not just in this game.
Yun yung main difference sa kanilang dalawa eh. Because certainly both teams really lethal in terms of making threes.
And that's what separates the good teams from the great teams.
Jason Opiso. And well, like Coach Christian alluded to in that Nueva Ecija and Quezon game, there are teams that can really play on one side of the floor, but the elite teams play on both sides, and that has been the DNA for the Quezon Huskers. And well, for Quezon, sorry Javi.
Yeah, dahil may dahilan naman talaga kung bakit itong laro ng basketball parehong may opensa at saka depensa.
Gixter, great move of the game, born for greatness.
You have to play well on both sides, because if you only play on the other side of the basketball, on one side of the basketball, nothing's gonna happen to you. If you're a team who only plays excellent defense but cannot shoot, then hindi ka rin naman mananalo.
Yeah. Kyle Perez, pinasok na dito for Mindoro.
But what I'm saying is that, again, it should be the defense fueling your offense. Dun mo dapat kinukuha yung lakas mo para umopensa. Hindi dapat nakadepende yung pagdidepensa mo sa pag-opensa mo.
Mindoro Tamaraws using another timeout. Behind now by 29 points, 80-51. Next three games of the Mindoro Tamaraws. September 10, a date with the Val City Magic. On the 13th, will go up against Pasig City, and on the 16th they will take on the Pangasinan Heat Waves. And when you look at that schedule, Javi, unless parang 3 games pagitan in between those 3 games, so they will be playing 3 games in a matter of 6 days.
Yeah, and that's no thanks to the cancellation of games that happened due to inclement weather. So Mindoro, they're really gonna have to dig deep as they wind down the season. Especially with what happened here, I hope that they would learn from this, because I think their reaction from this game, whatever the outcome, will begin to fuel what should happen to them.
And this impending loss is gonna hurt, because they will fall down to 13 and 11, half game behind Basilan for the number 6 spot. And remember, top 6 teams get an automatic entry into the playoffs in their respective divisions.
Yeah, and because of their depleted roster, they would want themselves positioned in the top 6 para naman may panahon pa sila na magpahinga before the postseason actually starts. Because falling down into the 7th to 10th spots will help you, or rather would put you in more games because of the play-in tournament. Dadaan ka pa sa butas ng karayom para lang makapasok sa ating playoffs.
And also, aside from Pangasinan, they still have a date with Batangas City and Abra. That's a really tough schedule to close out their regular season. But the way things are shaping up, at least they guarantee themselves a spot in the play-in for that number 7 spot. Maganda kasi doon, Javi, at least matalo ka man doon, may lifeline ka pang isa. Pero yun nga, if you're Mindoro, you would want to less complicate things by just getting into the playoffs outright. Pero yun nga, magiging mahirap from here on out. 80-53. Approaching the halfway point of the fourth. Ino Comboy gets it to Kyle Perez. Comboy asking for a foul. It's a shot clock violation against Mindoro.
Visibly frustrated with the way his former senior at FEU was defending him. Could not get a decent opportunity for a shot. Tamsi was right in his grill.
80-53. Under 5 minutes remaining. It's back to the drawing board for the Mindoro Tamaraws. On the other side, the Quezon Huskers, with this impending win, are just one win away rather, from clinching that #1 spot in the South Division. And those 2 wins they had, Javi, against well, actually yung tatlo rin against Basilan. That was a statement win, and certainly no easy opponent. Then they had those pair of resounding victories against San Juan and Nueva Ecija. They could have easily been 18-6 or 17-7, but because of those wins, they created some separation in terms of them getting a foothold of that #1 spot in the South Division.
Tama ka dyan. And, you know, them digging deeper than what they've had already this season just enabled them to take their game to a next level. Different players stepping up. And you have the coaching staff also recognizing the different talents that they have on this team to help fuel more opportunities and to also, you know, put a shadow of mystery on this Quezon's Husker squad.
Mayor Ina Alegre Cruz, a long look. But again, the mission remains the same for Mindoro, is for them to make their very first playoff appearance this season. Vince Magbuhos, what a pass inside. Jared Sevilla scores. 82-54. I'm sure attorney Don Capuran is watching and enjoying the handiwork of his team. Quezon Huskers. And a foul will be whistled against Quezon as Comboy opts to back his defender down, has yet to hit a free.
See here, 3 defenders converging there on Vince Magbuhos, making the right decision in feeding Sevilla on the left side.
Ino Comboy at the line. Itong free throw na ito ay hatid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Pasok unang free throw ni Ino Comboy, but it's been a very lethargic night to say the least. Even missing his free throws, 2 out of 4. 82-55. Quezon en route to grab win number 21. Ball stolen away by Diego Bangkale. Left it short. Perez inside. And he has had a couple of baskets, the former Diliman College player.
Miss here by Andrews. Perez taps it to himself and finishing through the contact. Huwag na nila tingnan masyado yung score dito, no, Ken?
Yeah.
It's close to impossible for them to overcome this deficit. But again, just like I say, in games where the teams fall into this deep of a hole, you start with making the right habits. And for Mindoro, especially with a tough schedule ahead of them, importante para sa kanila na umpisahan na agad ang matinding pagbabago.
Lagramas pass, broken up by Ino Comboy. Ashon Andrews, who will join the slam dunk contest, if I'm not mistaken.
He will, yes.
He's had some games where he made quite an impact for Mindoro.
Yeah, his playing time this season has been night and day.
Yeah. Been sputtering around. Sevilla almost lost it. Lagrama, inside pass, and Joshua Riero will score. Mindoro will use their last time out. Down now by 25 points. It's been all Quezon Huskers tonight.
Yung mga possession na sana meron ng makukuhang stop ang Mindoro, they fail to go to that 50-50 and Quezon ends up scoring after that.
Hoping Lagrama, magnificent for the Quezon Huskers. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 5 shooting from beyond the arc.
A lot of these looks from three-point country have been open looks para kay Topeng Lagrama, making good use of his time on the floor. Those 14 points been quick para sa kanya. 14 points in barely 16 minutes of play.
Quite a legend in Quezon. Sari-saring mga barangay, mga nilaruan niya dyan sa lalawigan ng Quezon.
Oh, I agree. Dahil maraming mga homegrown players rin naman sa liga na to. Or as we see Andrews get a nifty euro going to the bucket. Lagrama, there are other players who come in and when they have an impact on the floor, talaga maghihiyawan, especially when they play on their home court. Si Topeng, hindi pa pumapasok, naghihiyawan na yung mga tao.
Matik yan, basta sa Lucena. Look at this acrobatic move from Ashton Andrews. 84-61. Mantagle, napunta kay Jared Sevilla sa 3, Mintes. Comboy, nakuha yung rebound. Binigay kay Ashton Andrews. Bangkale na pass to Ethan Calang. Oh, what a move! Ethan Calang getting away, but just could not hit the three-pointer. The pass, oh, Piso!
Wait. My goodness.
And bad intentions on that one.
He's really coming from an injury? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That showing us that he's fully recovered from it. It's quite difficult to get off on 2 feet, especially after coming off an injury.
And this guy might just have saved the season for Quezon last season. That putback that he had. Right?
Oh, who could forget?
Because Batangas was just literally seconds away from barging themselves into the national finals before Quezon and Jason Opiso had a say to that one.
That was so heartbreaking para sa kanila because they were waiting for their turn and they've been there for the second straight time already. Third straight time rather.
Yeah. 3 straight South Division Finals appearances, and that could be another matchup on the horizon, Quezon and Batangas City.
Oh yeah, I mean imagine losing to Zamboanga the first time, then you lose to Bacoor, and then last year, seconds away, so close yet so far from reaching the national championship, you lose to the Quezon Huskers. And although this year they may look a little bit different, their strength might not be that immense compared to the past couple of years, but I say Coach Solo Villanueva's team is still going to be a very dangerous squad in the postseason.
And well, talking about Quezon, there were a bit of questions, especially how they lost against Pampanga, if you remember, way back at home. And then they had that loss against Rizal, where Rizal just got off to a really strong start. But boy, they responded in a very impressive way after that. Those pair of wins against Nueva Ecija, San Juan, Altamsi putting the cherry on top with that 3. 87-62 Quezon, showing us that they are also a team to be reckoned with in the postseason. Because we have really focused our attention to the top 3 teams in the North. fact, Javi, the last three teams rather, that won the championship, all coming in the North Division.
Tama ka dyan.
The back-to-back championships of Pampanga, Nueva Ecija won it in Season 4. And in fact, just 2 out of the 6 championships have been won by teams from the South. It was Batangas City in the inaugural season where we didn't have any divisions, Javi. And then the third season, won by the Davao Occidental Tigers during the pandemic. So if you're Quezon and the rest of the field in the South, you guys have a lot to prove going up against the top teams in the North, as we see Jeco Bangkale knocking down another 3.
In the Huskers, although they've only had a few seasons under their belt here in the Mpbl, they have been one of the franchises here in this league that have really modeled themselves to be one of the more culture-sensitive franchises here in the league.
Oh yeah. And also, yung mga ibang players nila hindi nagtatapos yung journey nila as a basketball player. I recall Attorney Don Capunan mentioned to me how Robin Ronyo, after his stint with Quezon, he's gone on and have coached yung mga grassroots programs, no, ng Quezon, and that speaks volumes to what kind of a franchise this Quezon Huskers is. And well, they would love to add a championship under their belt, and they certainly have a good shot of doing so here this season.
And it's not just Robin Ronyo. As you see that slam, 2 hands there para kay Perez. It's not just Robin Ronyo, actually. Thomas Torres has also gone that route. Another former Quezon Husker, Mark Pangilinan, the same.
Yeah.
And they have really written themselves a new chapter in their professional careers, still in the same sport that they truly love.
Coach Mark, kung nanonood ka, shoutout naman sa'yo. Baka naman.
Oh, from shooter to shouter.
4.4 seconds left. Mindoro, at the very least, has managed to trim the gap to a more respectable margin thanks to this guy, Jeco Bangkale, with 16 points.